major scale very simply at any time. So you might be building out, for instance, all your positions and that sort of thing and trying to learn to see your entire fretboard, and that's awesome. But what I want to do in this lesson is just give you a bit of visualization of being able to see the major scale and how to manipulate that major scale to become other things in one position very quickly and very simply. So what we're going to do is we're going to start off, we're going to use D, okay? So instead of going to D on the 6th string and then building all of that out, what I'm going to do is I'm going to visualize these things coming off of the 5th string. So for instance, my D is sitting right here at the 5th fret of the 5th string. So if I was going to build out my major scale, I've got my major scale sitting right here. I'm going to put my first finger on D, and I'm going to play what's called a spread fingering. I'm going to play D, E, F sharp, and then I'm going to move over to G, A, B, and then I have C sharp, and then finally D. Now let's talk about that for a second. So what I want you to notice here, the first thing I want you to notice is the visual symmetry that's happening here. I'm playing 2 what we call spread fingerings, and then I move up and play right there, okay? So we have that happening. Now, the reason why I like to play this, there's a number of reasons why I play this as a spread fingering, and I'm going to show you the what I call closed position as well. But with the spread fingering, what's nice about it is because you're starting on the first finger, you're actually able to visualize your intervals. It's not just a shape that you're learning, but you can actually see root to 2nd, to 3rd, to 4th, to 5th, to 6th, to the 7th, and then the root. So if you wanted your 1, 4, 5, or your notes of your arpeggio, for instance, your root 3rd, 5th, or your major 7th, or whatever, you can see them all laid out very easily in front of you. And you can use that for soloing. Now, the closed position, as I call it, is the first way that I learned how to play this, which was like this. Now, there's nothing wrong with that at all. Actually, you know, you can see the root, the 3rd, the 5th sitting in a nice little arpeggio shape sitting right there. But what I've never liked about it is that it's not symmetrical. I'm starting with my middle finger, which is kind of awkward, and then I wind up with, you know, my 3rd and pinky combination here. And it just feels awkward to me. That does not mean that it's wrong, and it does not mean that it's bad. If you find that that works better for you, then that's okay. But I want you to just hear me out about this spread fingering thing, because what's nice about the spread fingering, number 1, is the symmetry. It's easier to memorize. Number 2, we can actually see all of our notes laid out in front of us very easily from that root, right? So if we wanted root to 5th, or root to 6th, or root to 7th, we can see them all laid out very easily. And then the last thing, which we're really not going to get into in this video, although I have other videos that talk about it, is the fact that you now have the availability of being able to play 3 notes on each string, which can significantly speed up your playing when you play. You know, you're not doing 2 notes on a string and then 3 and then 2 and then 2 groups of 3 or something like that. Everything is 3 notes per string. So let me show you here. I'm going to expand out this just so you can see. I'm going to do 2 octaves of this. So we did the first octave. Well, let's keep going. I'm going to add on this note, and then so you'll see I'm playing D, E, F sharp, G, A, B, C sharp, D. Now my symmetry gets off a little bit here, obviously, as you look at this. But you can also see that it's 3 notes on each string as I play. But I do want to be aware of the fact that D is here, and here, and here. So I can always figure out, well, there's D, so there's my root, my 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, major 7th, right? Major 7th, 6th, 5th, 4th. You see? So I can get used to being able to visualize these intervals. Now, again, it's just a different way of seeing your fretboard. You might be, again, learning all of those positions and how to connect them all together, and that's great. At some point, I would still recommend to you, even if you're doing that, to learn to visualize your intervals. That way you can see where your root and your third and your fifth, or whatever it is you might be looking for, where it exists in there. Whether or not you're actually putting names to it, which again is another level, and it's important to be able to do that. But at the very least, you'd be able to look and go root, third, fifth, right? Or whatever it is you're trying to do. If you want the fourth, you can see it right there. Maybe you're playing a 1, 4, 5, and for some reason your brain's not really working, and you think, well, what is the 4? Well, you can think and go, oh, it's G. You see? So you can use it in a number of different ways. So that's the first thing for us to learn is how to just find a position of major very quickly from anywhere. Maybe we just play the 1 octave, maybe we do 2 octaves, whatever, but we find it very quickly. So if we want to be in the key of B, okay, well, we find B, and we do the exact same thing. Or want to be in the key of E, we go up to E. Or the key of A, we move up to A. And we can find it anywhere we want to go. Now, let's say we wanted to find the relative minor to any of these, the relative minor. Okay, so we're in D right now. So if we want to find the relative minor, again, we could use our theory if we know our theory, and we could go, well, it's the 6th chord, so D, E, F sharp, G, A, B. It's B minor, which it totally is. Okay, but what we could also do is if we're starting on D, we could move back 1, 2, 3 frets. See how I did that? 1, 2, 3 frets. If I think about the notes of my scale, I have D, I also have F sharp, or excuse me, C sharp. I don't mean to call it F sharp, C sharp, and I also have B. So that's how I'm getting there, is I'm just moving back 1, 2, 3 notes in my scale. But if you can visualize it very quickly, it's just thinking 1, 2, 3 frets back. And then I'm going to play the same notes that I played in D, but starting on B. So I'm going to play B, C sharp, D, E, F sharp, G, A, B. And that'd be a very easy way of getting the tonality of the relative minor, which is B minor, is simply by moving it down. Now the question always arises, do I really have to move to play in B minor? Couldn't I stay in D major? Because aren't they the same thing? And they are. They have the same notes. They have the same chords. The difference is what note, aka what chord, are you emphasizing? If you're in D major, of course you're emphasizing the D major chord. If you're in B minor, you're still in D major, but you're emphasizing the B minor chord. So could you stay in D? And the answer is, of course you could. But you'd want to find your B, right? Which you'll see, it keeps trying to kick you up an octave to this B up here, which sounds just fine. But this, again, is adding some symmetry that you can see. And you can also see everything from the B, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So if you want to make an interval, for instance, or an arpeggio, you can see them sitting right there. So it's really nice to be able to visualize that. So that's a simple way that you could get to the relative minor. Okay? Now, the next step is that we can take this whole idea and say, okay, well, let's say we're in D major, okay? But we want a different mode in D, okay? Let's say we wanted D minor, D Aeolian, which is not in the key of D. It's a completely different key, right? We can take this scale and we can lower 3 of the notes. 1, 2, 3, the 3rd, 4, 5, 6, the 6th, and the 7th. And now we're in D minor. And of course, it's going to look just like B minor, right? But we're in D. So we lowered the 3rd, the 6th, and the 7th to get minor. Let's say we wanted Dorian. Okay, well, Dorian is minor with a major 6. So then we'd have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And that's how we could get Dorian. Or let's say we wanted Phrygian, which is a flatted 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You see, just simple edits like that, instead of looking at your whole fretboard and then trying to figure out the key and all this sort of thing, which again, don't get me wrong, we want to see the bigger picture. I'm just saying if you find yourself in a pinch and you've got to figure out something very quickly, you could take this major position and you could find the relative minor. Or you could take this major position and edit this major position to accommodate whatever you need. If you need minor, you lower the third, the sixth, and the seventh. If you need Dorian, you raise the sixth. If you need Phrygian, you lower the two, you see? So you just get used to these simple ideas. Let's go through the major ones. If we were in major and we wanted Mixolydian, we would flat the seven. Okay? If you wanted Lydian, you would sharp the four. You see? So that's a really easy way of being able to find virtually anything that you would want anywhere on the fretboard in a very short amount of time. If you want to play songs across the entire fretboard, or play solos over different styles of music that people will love because they sound great and look effortless, and ultimately have more fun playing guitar and have the confidence to jam with fellow musicians, then you're going to want to pay very close attention to this message. Because you're about to discover a simple way to play songs and solos across the fretboard that sounds amazing and looks so effortless that people's jaws will drop because they can't believe how well you're playing, without spending hours of your time learning confusing music theory. My name is Steve Stein, and I'm a guitar player just like you. I've always known the fretboard was a big deal, but was kind of overwhelming. I've been teaching guitar since 1987, and I just turned 51. Maybe it's my age or something, but I never really got how some people can learn the fretboard by memorizing diagrams. And I've tried all kinds of stuff like I'm sure you have, and it sure has been frustrating. Like spending hours with my nose stuck in a book packed with hundreds of fretboard diagrams, or listening to someone who's practically speaking a different language trying to explain exactly what I need to know in a way that I understand it. After spending all that time and money, it never really clicked, and it felt like one critical piece of the puzzle was missing. Plus, I've never felt comfortable trusting that I understand or know how to do something without applying it in the real world. I thought there surely must be something easy that helps you to play songs and solos without having to worry about learning every chord and scale. That's when I dug through all my notes and discovered a shocking fact. You don't need to know every chord or how to play all the modes to play the most popular rock, pop, country, metal, or blues songs. You don't need to know how to thread all the scales together to play solos. I realized that you just really need to know triads. A triad is 3 notes that make up prime chords like major, minor, and diminished. When you can see those 3 types of triads on your fretboard, you'll play songs faster than ever before. And you can easily combine them to create solos. Triads are kind of like landmarks on a map. I use them to get from point A to point B on the fretboard, and I know when I play them, they'll sound great because they're part of the chord and work in any key. When I learned triads, my guitar playing improved tremendously because I always knew where to go. I never got lost and wasn't playing the same old scales over and over again. After a while, I started sharing this with some of my private students. They started getting results too. So I decided to record my exact method and show how anyone can use triads to play songs and solos across the fretboard that sound amazing and feel effortless. And that's how my new course, Fretboard Framework, was created. Here's what you're going to discover. Simple triad patterns that spread out over the entire fretboard so you'll know exactly where to put your fingers. Lots of guitar players seem like they're spending hours practicing boring drills and memorizing every single scale pattern. The good news is you don't have to do that because there are only 3 types of triads you ever have to learn to play the majority of popular songs and play awesome solos too. This 2-hour course is completely online and broken down into short, easy-to-digest videos where I show you exactly how to use triads to play songs and solos across the fretboard. The first few videos explain exactly what a triad is and demonstrate how the 3 main types of triads, major, minor, and diminished, allow you to play creative harmonies and melodies. They're also powerful for playing songs because you'll learn new voicings so you won't be stuck playing big, blocky chords and your guitar playing will sound more interesting. You can even use triad arpeggios in your solos to create melodic lines that don't sound like you're just playing a boring scale. I show you where the triads are across the fretboard so you'll know exactly where to put your fingers. In the last half of the course, I show you how to unlock the fretboard with the cage system and how to apply everything you learned to play over some jam tracks. This will allow you to really wire triads into your guitar playing and help you see the fretboard in a whole new way. You get lifetime access to my Fretboard Framework course so you can go at your own pace Watch the videos again and again until you're ready for more. The videos are short and easy to understand, so you never get bogged down with a bunch of useless information that won't improve your guitar playing. Similar good courses cost hundreds of dollars or even $1,000 at Berklee College of Music online. Or you can do like I did and spend thousands of dollars in college learning what I'm going to show you. With all that said, this could easily sell for $1,000. After all, similar courses sell for $14.97. Of course, it won't cost you $1,000, not even $500. Not even $100. You get the complete Fretboard Framework course for just 3 payments of $27.60. Or you can save 70% if you want to make one payment of $69. But it gets better because when you order today, you also get 2 exclusive live sessions where you can ask me your most burning questions about the course. And you don't have to worry about making it because they'll be recorded and uploaded so you can watch them at any time in the members area. Another one of the most important skills you can develop as a guitar player is ear training. That's why I've included my Ear Training 2.0 course as a special second bonus. You'll learn the secrets of playing songs by ear and be able to listen to songs and instantly know what notes will sound great for your solos. If you were to buy this on the website a few months back, it would have cost you $99, but you get it free when you order today. And if you order in the next 15 minutes, you'll get my 3.5-hour Essential Guitar Skills course that originally sold for $99. You'll discover all the skills you need to be a well-rounded lead guitar player. This will allow you to play freely across the entire fretboard and get really creative when it comes time to solo. With this course, you're going to overcome problems like not knowing where to start and end your solos, worrying about what scale will sound good for leads, and alternative scales you can use to improvise better solos than you ever thought possible. You won't have to worry about feeling lost or confused because your fingers will be trained to instantly find the right notes without any hesitation. So, to recap, you get my new Fretboard Framework course and all the great bonuses I just mentioned for just 3 payments of $27.60 or one payment of $69. And you're protected by our 30-day guarantee. Truly put it to the test for a full 30 days and see if it's right for you. If you don't think it's a good fit, no big deal. Just contact our friendly support team and they'll issue you a full refund or exchange. No questions asked, no receipt required. However, I can only offer this price and bonuses for a short time. After that, the price increases to $199 and the bonuses will not be included. So click the button below and get started today. As soon as you place your order, you'll get a receipt in your email with instructions on how to access the course. You'll also get a spot in the 2 live sessions and immediate access to the Ear Training 2.0 and Essential Guitar Skills bonus courses. If you want a simple way to play songs and solos across the fretboard that sounds amazing and looks so effortless that people can't believe how well you're playing without spending hours of your time learning confusing fretboard diagrams, then you're absolutely going to love Fretboard Framework. And it's simple to get started. You log into the course and watch the first short video, and as you build your skills, you move to the next video, always at your own pace. You can watch and repeat lessons as many times as you need. Remember, this could easily sell for $1,000, but you can have it today for 3 payments of $27.60 or one payment of $69. And when you order, you'll also get the 2 live sessions and immediate access to my Ear Training 2.0 and Essential Guitar Scales courses. You'll learn the secrets of playing songs by ear and all the scales you need to improvise solos over any song. The bonuses alone have a $438 value, and you get our 30-day guarantee. But remember, I can only offer this price and bonuses for a short time. After that, the price increases to $199 and the bonuses won't be included. So click the button below